Salvationes, this is I'm Amelia, also known as TheMartianGeek. We beat all 8 of the investigators, but it's still not time for the fortress yet. I have some unfinished business. First up, Blaze Heatnix's stage. Well, okay, so I cut a little, came in a little early. Just wanted to show, notice something different about this stage? Such as the fact that there are big metal blocks in the way. Yeah, that's Metal Shark Player's nightmare effect. Basically, the blocks just stay at the same X position or horizontal position, and they move up and down in a continuous pattern over and over again. And touching the blocks themselves doesn't hurt you, but if the blocks happen to squish you between themselves and the ceiling or the floor, then you take damage. I also wanted to show off the metal anchor, speaking of metal, and what you can do to the red donut robots with it. Say hello to my metal friends. One hit KO. So anyway, now that that's done, we can get onto the real stuff. Here's our metal block, and I shall use this metal block to get up here, where we find a heart tank, a Reploid, a nightmare, another Reploid, another metal block. Yeah, whatever. That metal block obviously is in the way, and you have to get rid of it. You can do that with the metal anchor. The charged version works better, but if you shoot enough uncharged anchors at it, it will still go away. Next, I'll give you an armor program. Collect 4 programs to get blah 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 blah. Well, he claims it allows you to fire in 3 directions simultaneously, but that's not the case. More like, uh-oh, this could be trouble. Boy, I got lucky. I guess the nightmares want to go after me this time instead of the Reploids. We even got 2 in one go that time. There are a lot of Reploids in here, by the way. See, the problem with the charged metal anchor, though, is if you get hit while you're trying to use it, your attack is cancelled. See, there's a good example. And I'm out of metal anchor energy. I hope I don't have anything else to get through. And I don't. Good. Secondary area portal. Here I come. So, here's Blaze Heatnix's secondary area. Where am I? Alia, I can't contact. If you can't wear contacts, then maybe you should get your vision checked. Never mind, that was a bad joke. So, Blaze Heatnix's secondary area has no red donut robots. It's more like the shaft in between the first and second mini-boss battles. Except the torches are a little bit nastier this time around, because instead of flickering 4 times, they only do 1. There's the second E-tank, the main reason I have to come here. See, those torches, those things are really fast, so you can go up on the platforms and risk getting flamed, but I wouldn't recommend it. Just wall jump like I just did twice. So, now that we've beaten Nightmare 0 and High Max, who do we face at the end of the secondary area? Dynamo? You again? You look very busy all the time. I'm interested in the Nightmare and its investigation. It's dangerous! Stop it! Please do not get in my way! Okay, okay, you always get mad, but I want many souls, even yours! So, if you haven't played Mega Man X, in case you haven't played Mega Man X5, Dynamo is basically this random guy who showed up in Mega Man X5 just to mess with you, literally. Like, that's what he says. That's all he's doing. He does have a weakness, which I'll be showing off. But right now, I'm content to just fight him with a blade. This guy would be so much harder if, like, I actually had to worry about getting hit. So, that takes care of Blaze Heatnix's stage, well, except for one little thing. And I can't beat you. Until next time. So anyway, time to cut. So here's Metal Shark Player's stage. This is at the end of the second section where the path splits. You might notice I have the speedster part on. That's because, well, I'm not confident in my abilities enough in my abilities to get through here without it. I've already gotten squished twice trying, even with the speedster. You have to time that pretty exactly if you want to get through there. There's a Turtloid. Near. I want to steal your soul. Come on, you dork. So, you might notice a very large gap in the path ahead. How do we get across it? Ice Burst, and then just Mock Dash across. So here's another Shadow Armor part. There's actually another way to get across here, but I don't have the means necessary right now to do it. I shall show it off later, but in the meantime, since there's not really anything in Metal Shark Player's secondary area that I need to get, I'm gonna skip it for now.
Ready?
Gotta switch my microphone on there. So, next up is Blizzard Wolfang. And looky here, we got an all-new armor to use. A Shadow Armor. Which makes you look like a ninja. It has a crescent-shaped charged shot that does a lot of damage. And there's these avalanches are out of the way. I'll explain more features of it. It can stand on the spikes. And if you are on the ground and oops, that was dumb. And press up and B, or X I guess it is on the PlayStation controller, the jump button, okay? You can do a high jump that lets you stick to the ceiling. Don't have a good ceiling here to stick to. Now, drawbacks of the Shadow Armor, no special weapons, for one. No air dash. You get it so late in the game, you hardly get a chance to use it. Come on, Wolfie, just die already. Oh, and instead of shooting always straight, you shoot... Ah, dang it! See, that's where an air dash would have been really nice. Instead of shooting straight, you shoot in 3 directions, not simultaneously, despite what Dr. Light said. I guess they're supposed to be ninja stars or shurikens or whatever they're called. The problem with the charged shot of this thing is, it does a lot of damage, but it doesn't have very good range. So here's about where our fireball nightmare starts. This time I'm taking the secondary area once again. But look, spikes? No problem. Why didn't Dr. Light think of that all along? Like, dang, this would be so much easier if there weren't spikes in the way all over the place. Hey, how about making an armor that lets you walk on spikes? Nah, that would be too easy. So, Blizzard Wolfang's secondary area. I turn off colors, blah blah blah. Basically, all you do is go down a really, really long hill. Double barrier helps because it's easier to just run into the walls instead of trying to jump over them, so... And yes, there's a nightmare effect. Blaze Heatnix's. I don't know if Shield Sheldon's nightmare effect shows up in the secondary area or not. You need Blaze Heatnix's just to get into this secondary area, so I would assume it's impossible to know for sure if Shield Sheldon shows up. So, here's what I'm after. Really long spike pit, and there's a Reploid that gives you a very important part. The jumper. See, if I didn't have the shadow armor, normally I'd go about this by shooting an ice burst around here, and knock dashing onto the ice burst, then knock dashing over here. Or, failing that, say I have 0 or something, I could lure one of the nightmare fireballs down here, get hit, and then run across the spikes, preferably with the double barrier. But I have the shadow armor, so spikes are no problem for me. And Dynamo again. It's slightly different dialogue. Have you solved the mystery of the nightmare? Dynamo, this is not your business. The nightmare soul is nice DNA. I want to power up with it. So I'll take the souls you collected. See, that's what Dynamo does when you hit him with his weakness. And since you can't use special weapons with the shadow armor, just hitting him with that big crescent blade suffices. But you hit him once to stun him, and then you hit him again to make him drop a green nightmare soul, which is worth 200. If you need a good way to get nightmare souls, then this is it. Eat Ninja Star, Dynamo. Not to be confused with Dynamo Man, the electric themed boss in Mega Man and Bass. So, I shall now use my mystical powers of Camtasia Studio Editing, I mean the Force, to teleport us to the rainy domain of Rainy Turtloid. So, here we are, back at Rainy Turtloid stage. And it's raining. Obviously. And this time we're not gonna have to worry about the orbs. Actually, why am I even bothering with this guy? Straight to the bottom, and there's our secondary area portal. Leading to said secondary area. We may want to get the guard shell on right away, because this isn't the same area. First thing you should know about this secondary area is there's nowhere to hide from the rain. It's rainy everywhere, like in the 4th area. Oh, that was brilliant. In the 4th area, part of the stage, you know, there are places behind the spikes where you could hide and stuff. Not so here. And the second thing I should mention is both nightmare effects that occur in Shield Sheldon stage are in full... God dang it! Full swing in the secondary area. So depending on... Oops, that was not what I meant to do. depending on which one you choose or end up with, you'll have holograms attacking you, or darkness with spotlights that don't help all that much. Meant to dash jump there. As for which nightmare effect you should actually take, here I think it really depends on which armor you're using. If you're using the blade armor, you're probably going to want to go with Shield Sheldons. You might notice I'm using the blade armor, and I have Shield Sheldon. If you're using the shadow armor, well, it's going to make it a heck of a lot easier to get around all these spikes, obviously. But remember how I said the shadow armor can't use special weapons? That includes the guard shell, so use the shadow armor and you have Shield Sheldon's nightmare effect. There's no way to get rid of the hologram. Admittedly, they don't do that much damage, but it's still something to consider. Like I said, though, the bright side about using the shadow armor is that you don't have to worry about the spikes, and there are spikes all over the flipping place in this secondary area. Keep meaning to dash jump and just... there you go. Another perk to using the shadow armor here is that it can take out those annoying purple robots in one hit. Yep, one. Let loose a nice charged saber, crescent thingy, and they're gone. If you don't have the shadow armor and you're looking for a way to get rid of the purple things, well, I tested all the special weapons and I found the Yamar option seemed to work the best. Oh, I can't believe I avoided the spikes there. I must have air dashed against the bottom of the platform or something. The Ice Burst actually does the most damage to the big purple robots, but it has so little ammo and such a lousy refire rate that it's really not worth it, in my opinion. So, it's really your choice. At this point in the game, if you have both armors, whichever one you choose, doesn't really matter. Well, that takes care of the rain. Now all I have to do is get out of here without landing on spikes. So, if you're using the blade armor, you might want to go with Infinity Maginian's Nightmare effect. Obviously, you're going to have some vision problems, but like I said, since you don't have to worry about the spikes, that eliminates that problem, and you don't have holograms attacking you. Infinity Maginian's Nightmare effect can't damage you directly, obviously. So here's Dynamo back for more. How are you doing? Dynamo, hurry and get out of here! You're good at running away, aren't you? Very clever, but I'm here for the nightmares. I've been gathering them, thinking them I might be able to enhance my powers. So, will you do me a favor? Give me all the DNA souls you've gathered. And we get to see his other weakness. The Meteor Rain. I didn't do that correctly, but... you hit him once to stun him, and then again to make him drop the Nightmare Soul. I think the second hit can actually be with any special weapon, but it's easiest just to use the Meteor Rain again. Well, I'm glad one of those hit him. See what I mean about the Meteor Rain not being very good for close range combat? You have to get right up in their face to use it on him. So anyway, that's Dynamo defeated for the third time. Oh, give me a break. And that's just about it. There's one more thing I want to get, so I'm cutting here. So anyway, back at Blaze Heatnix this stage, and I went ahead and used the Shadow Armor this time since it really doesn't matter here. Although I'm probably going to die because I'm not have a whole lot of health. So this is the alternate battle. When you do the third battle, you can choose one of two different possibilities, and this is the one I didn't take when I actually did this stage. And there's the Reploid I wanted to rescue. The Crescent Shadow Armor Slash actually does pretty decent damage to these things. I've actually had occasions where I managed to take out one of the green orbs in one hit. Yeah, told you I was gonna die. So I might as well finish it off, but I'll take this time to explain some details I forgot to mention. Forgot to mention in the other 3 videos. Like I said, I don't know what happened with the sound in that last part, but you heard the Dynamo boss battle music twice, and very nice music it was, so not really that important. I don't feel like doing Rainy Turtloid's secondary area again, so you may have guessed that yes, the metal anchor does a lot of damage to these things if you can time it right. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the Shadow Armor can also stick to walls instead of sliding down them. Little shark player, there's a second way to get over that big gap in Middle Shark Player's little side path that I'll probably show off next time. Wizard Wolfang, well, the jumper part is often cited as being one of the most important parts in the game. Yeah, see? I told you they could take out one of those things in one hit. Oh, what the heck, I'll keep going. I still have more to explain. The jumper's like one of the most important parts in the game because you almost need it to get past the first part of the fortress. And actually there's a part in an area in the second half, or the second fortress stage, where if you have the wrong armor and the wrong combination of parts, you can't get past it. Like, it's literally impossible. Dang it. Now see, I don't have any special weapons, so see if I can still actually beat this thing. That's the top 2. That's one of them. The other one a lot of people say is important is the Hyper Dash, which I got in Rainy Turtloid's secondary area. Like that other LPer I mentioned who did this game, he was saying complaining how he had to use Zero in the first section of the fortress because Zero can double jump, and he lost the jumper part, so he couldn't get past it with the X, the first section of the fortress. I don't know how he did that though, really. Like both the jumper and the Hyper Dash are in secondary areas, and said secondary areas don't have any nightmares in them. So how exactly did you manage to lose the jumper? I'd like to know. Like, it's literally impossible. You couldn't lose it if you tried. So you must have been thinking of some other part. So anyway, this time that's really all. And since I already beat the boss, you just warp out. That's all for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.